Hello, hello! It's Business Partner, B1 Plus, Unit 5 Logistics, Lesson 5.5 Writing, Letter of Complaint. If you've ever had a problem ordering something and the delivery was a problem, this video is for you. Let's learn how to deal with problems like this, how to contact the company that didn't do their job very well. It's wonderful information, and I start by showing this. How could you write the letter to if you've ever had a problem? For example, you can write a letter to the manager of a company or to the customer support. All right, what information do you think a letter of complaint should include? What kind of information? A description and details of the problem, a request for action, a call for action, and a desired outcome, the results, And then, what tone do you think you should use? Friendly and warm, polite and formal, or aggressive? I didn't receive in the right time. What kind of tone do you think? It should be polite and formal. This one, okay. Yes, let's be polite and formal. Not friendly because, they aren't correct, but let's not be aggressive. And what should you expect? Why would you write such a letter? To have a result, right? To have, for example, a refund or a replacement, depending on the circumstances. This is something for us to think about, the tone, what to write, whom to write, and so on. We start with an example here. But before, look, in this lesson we will learn how to write a letter or email of complaint with supporting details. But then you say, but what is a complaint? Well, I have here Longman Dictionary, and it says it's a statement in which someone complains about something. Oh, so you complain. But if you don't know what a complaint is, look, a reason for not being satisfied. This is what the Oxford Learner's Dictionary says. So you have a reason for not being satisfied, and then it's a statement that somebody makes saying that they are not satisfied. Okay? Basically, this is it. The pronunciation?
Complaint.
And in American English?
Complaint.
Basically the same, right? All right. So let's see how showing that we aren't happy with the service. We have the first exercise here. What is it about? We have a letter of complaint from one company to another. It's an example exercise. Very nice, by the way. We have to choose the correct option in italics and then compare in pairs. Well, as this is a video, I'm going to read and then we are going to check the answers. But before talking about the exercise in which we have to choose between two options every time, let's learn what happened. We arranged 30 dishwashers from our hotel group last week, on the understanding that they would be delivered or carried yesterday. Although you indicated that this might be difficult, you assured assumed or you assured us that you could manage it. However, only 10 machines arrived. So imagine you buy 30 and they deliver only 10. Did they explain, did they mention why they did that? Maybe they wanted to please the customer by delivering 10 because this is what they had, in expecting them to understand and wait for the other 20. Well, let's learn more by doing the exercise. Choose the correct option in italics. We have two options here, but basically it's a complaint about the delivery of dishwashers. The order is number 4587 for 30 dishwashers. We arranged or we ordered 30 dishwashers for their hotel group. Oh, I'm going to read this way, okay, for our hotel group last week. It's ordered, right? Yes. On the understanding that they would be delivered, carried yesterday. Well, maybe people would have to carry the machines, but that's not what you would write. They would be delivered yesterday. Although you indicated that this might be difficult, so it would be difficult, but they said they could do that. You could manage it. You assumed or you assured. Obviously, it is assured. What's the meaning of assumed? Let's see. Assume. Assume, to think or accept that something is true, but without having proof of it. So that's not a very good word here, right? But assured, you say that this will happen, right? Much better. However, only 10 machines arrived, and of course, 2 were damaged, injured, and 1 did not work at all. Wow. And of those, sorry, not of course. And of those 10, 2 were damaged. Okay, a person can be injured, not a machine. So the machines, those 2 were damaged and 1 did not work at all. Your driver was most unhelpful and told us to call you immediately, which we did. We tried to contact you several times, but your customer service department did not answer our chats, our calls. Well, look, we tried to contact you by calling several times, so it wasn't the chats, it was the calls. Despite sending you several emails asking you to contact us, so far we have had no response from you. We are very surprised by this, as we have been customers of your company for many years. However, if you do not respond or answer to this letter immediately, well, in this case, it is respond. You can answer a letter. Well, you respond to a letter, okay? Immediately, we shall be made or forced to withhold payment. Withhold is not to pay, basically. Shall be made or forced. Forced, right? To withhold payment. Find another supplier and request that you collect the 10 machines already delivered. Well, serious message, right? They will find another supplier and request that you or they, the other company, collects collect the 10 machines already delivered. We sincerely hope that this situation can be resolved to our mutual satisfaction. We look forward to receiving your punctual, prompt response. There isn't anything arranged, so it can't be punctual. So it is prompt response. So it should be as soon as possible. Who wrote is Jacob Bessinger, purchasing manager. He's really upset, right? This is a wonderful example of a letter of complaint, and this will help us throughout the whole lesson. In part 2, we are learning functional language connected to letters of complaint. Complete the table using words and phrases from the letter. We have a different example here, a different situation, but the structure is the same and basically the message is also very similar. Look here, we have paragraph 1. Last week, 100 desks from you. What did we do? We ordered 100 desks from you, right? Unfortunately, some of the desks were damaged, right? Were not answered by your customer service department. My what? My calls, because they called several times. All right. Extra details. The second paragraph is to show extra details about the problem. The goods would arrive on time. You promised, you assured, what? Assured us the goods would arrive on time. 10 of the desks were the wrong type. We were unable to contact your customer service department. If you, to this letter immediately, if you do not respond, do you remember respond here? To this letter immediately, to look for another supplier, we shall be forced. We shall be forced to look for another supplier. You collect the desks. We request. We request that you collect the desks. If you do not resolve this situation immediately, we shall have no alternative but to cancel our order. We can understand, right? And then, after the demand, that was paragraph 3, in which you show the other company what you want, you go to paragraph 4, in which you show the desired outcome. That this situation will be resolved to we hope. We sincerely hope that this situation will be resolved to our mutual satisfaction. It's very polite, right? We look forward to receiving the correct goods as soon as possible. You see, polite, formal, not long. We can learn a lot by this. This is a good structure. You state the problem, you give extra details, you show your demands and the desired outcome. Basically, this is it. Very nice. By the way, we have an extra activity that is a little more practice on this topic, on this thing. We have the functional language to think about, and we should put the sentences in the correct order to make a letter of complaint. Oh, we have these sentences that are out of order, but this is basically another letter of complaint. I look forward to receiving a prompt response to this letter. You agree that this is one of the last sentences, right? Although I tried to contact customer service several times, they did not answer my calls. This is kind of in the middle or beginning of the letter. I recently took delivery of a television which I ordered last week. You are stating the problem here, right? I therefore request that you give me a refund in full and collect the damaged television immediately. Here you are asking the people to do something. It's the call for action, right? If you do not respond to my request in the next week, I shall be forced to take you to court. Wow, yes. So you go and you really are going to complain about the service, right? In the law court. Unfortunately, when I took off the packaging, I discovered that the screen was cracked. So you are showing the problem here. Not only that, but there was no remote control and the stand for the screen was missing. Oh, it's probably a very rare problem, right? But it was with this person and the person has to complain about that. But look, these and these ones are together. They are connected, right? Do you remember we saw a very good sentence to start? I recently took delivery of a television which I ordered last week. This is the first one. We have to number, right? So this is one. After that, after showing what happened, you give extra details. Unfortunately, when I took off the packaging, I discovered that the screen was cracked. Oh, that's a terrible situation. 3. Not only that, but there was no remote control and the stand for the screen was missing. Terrible. So, after showing that, you have to say what you want. Look, I therefore request that you give me a refund, or although I tried to contact customer service several times, they did not answer my calls. It's this one, right? Because first, you show that you tried to solve the situation, but the company didn't help. So first, before you write a letter of complaint, you try to call, you try to other more direct ways to contact the company. So after that, then you, as they didn't answer, they did not answer his calls, our calls, you can go and say that I therefore request that you give me a refund in full and collect the damaged television immediately. I don't want another television from you. I want my money back. And after that, what do? Do you threat the company or do you say goodbye? First of all, you show something serious. If you do not respond to my request in the next week, I shall be forced to take you to court. So this is number 6. And finally, number 7 is this one here. I look forward to receiving a prompt response to this letter. You can take a print if you want. These are the answers. Very good exercise, very good example here. All right, but in a formal letter, we use linking words. We use correct linking words to show what we want, to connect the sentences like here, right? Let's learn more about linking words. Let's take here a look. You have an explanation in your book on page 122. I'm opening here in the app. Linking. We can use a range of linking words to introduce differences, but the language structures following them vary. For example, we have the word but connects those two statements or phrases when the second one adds something different or seems surprising after the first one. Though is like but adds a fact or opinion that makes what you have just said seem less definite or less important. We visited the offices, but the manager wasn't there. We visited the offices, though the manager wasn't there. All right. Okay. Although contrasts one clause with another in the same sentence. Although we visited the offices, the manager wasn't there. You see the difference? Although goes in the beginning of the sentence. Even though is used to introduce a statement that makes the main statement coming after it seem very surprising. Like, even though we visited the offices, the manager wasn't there. You see the difference? Although is more neutral. Even though gives more emphasis, shows surprise. Nevertheless and however are often used in the beginning of a sentence. They can also be used in the middle of a sentence to join two different ideas. However, he said he would meet us the following day. The manager wasn't there. However, he said he would meet us the following day. Nevertheless, he said he would meet us the following day. Despite and in spite of are used to say that something happens or is true. Something is true, even though something else might have prevented it. You cannot use of with despite, okay? You don't say despite of. You say in spite of. Despite sending the order in early, delivery was still late. Despite the fact that we sent the order in early, delivery was still late. Okay, in spite of means that the same as despite, but is used differently, unless you add the fact that it's usually followed by a noun phrase. In spite of all the problems, we still managed to complete the project. In spite of the fact that we sent the order in early, delivery was still late. In spite of the fact that, despite sending the order in early. It's easier, right? I love this one. Whereas makes comparisons and says that something is true of the one person, thing, or situation, but is different for another. For example, here, look, this supplier offers better quality, whereas the other one offers better design. You see? Very nice. Okay, so you can watch and watch again. But after doing these and studying that and seeing 1, 2, 3 examples of letters of complaint, it's our turn to write our letter of complaint. Here, work in pairs, make a list of as many business situations as you can which might require a letter of complaint. Then look at the list of problems on page 130 and complete the table with details and demands. Well, what could go wrong and would give you the necessity to write a letter of complaint? For example, we saw here wrong delivery, wrong items, damaged items, right? This is what we saw in the examples. Late payment, damaged goods, wrong goods, invoice incorrect, so they charge you incorrectly, inferior quality, late deliveries, many things, right? What do we have to do? Let's go to page 130. Let's see here. No, it's here. Uh-oh. Look, yes. We have a problem. For example, late payments. The details, month overdue. And demand, immediate payment. So the person didn't pay. So it's after the time they should have paid. So otherwise, they could go to court. Another problem, damaged goods. Give some details. Scratched, broken, not working. Scratched, something like that. Broken, not working. Demand, replacement, so they give another one. Refund, give money back, or different product. Wrong goods, let's give some extra details. What could be? Like ordered for correct goods, because they delivered the wrong goods. Or you can give the reference number, details of goods required and received, right? They should collect and replace immediately or need discount or compensation for all the trouble. The other ones, invoice incorrect, inferior quality, late deliveries. Why don't you think what details to include and what demands to make? That's very good exercise for you to think what to do in situations like those. But after that, you should use a situation from the table here and write a letter of complaint of your own in around 180 words. And if you are part of a class, you could exchange letters with your partner, otherwise send to your teacher. Or why don't you write in the comments your letter of complaint? I will be really glad to read your letter of complaint and make a comment about it. It will be my pleasure. Well, I hope you liked this lesson 5.5. If you really liked, please, no, what am I doing? If you liked, why don't you strike the like button, follow the channel, and if you are really happy, you could even buy me a cup of coffee. You have the link down there in the comments, in the description of the video. Well, I wish you all the best and see you in the next video. Bye bye.